Welcome to the video. Before we begin, if not already, please take a moment to subscribe. It helps out the channel a lot. And click the bell icon to receive notifications when I upload. Comment your little heart out. And most of all, please enjoy. Now back to the video. Cars. A huge part of our society ever since mankind decided that walking is for chumps. The humble and sometimes not so humble automobile. George Barris created some of the most iconic and recognizable cars in cinematic and television history. He knew that when it came to entertainment, cars can be characters themselves just as much as plot devices, even when the cars don't talk or drive themselves. But it was inevitable that the cars would eventually start turning on us. Jesus didn't take the wheel on this one. This is the car. It begins with two cyclists out in the middle of nowhere. Come on, race you to that metaphor. Loser sleeps with the winner. The titular car appears, wearing blue blockers before they were never cool. Our first glimpse of the car is not unlike that of a wild animal leaping from its cave.
Right.
The car chases down the two cyclists. Take her! Leave me alone! If she's not dead, he'll never hear the end of this. Meanwhile, the guy discovers a new extreme sport. Welcome to the Xander Zone! Friends don't let friends menstruate. Psst, wake up! The movie's starting! James Brolin is Chief Deputy Wade. Kathleen Lloyd is his girlfriend, Lauren. Their relationship is a secret from his two kids. Spoiler alert, it's not a secret. Don't leave him blue, baby.
I gotta go home. I gotta get dressed. Margie's gonna pick me up for school at 7:45.
We got 10 minutes.
That's enough to do it like 14 times. Oh, make it 15.
Stand up slowly. Put your hands on your head.
This is an odd relationship. I'm still here for it. You heard that, didn't you? Have your fun, but we miss Mommy. Now a hitchhiker gets involved in a domestic dispute between Amos and Bertha Clemens for about 2 minutes of screen time. Any guy who abuses a woman is no man. It's not a joke, it's just how I feel. So I'm hoping a demon car will run over his head a few times. But it's the hitchhiker who encounters the car, who's shockingly not accepting rides. That's good finger.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
I stand by my finger. Wade's kids are onto him.
Daddy, how come she always sneaks out before we get up? Why don't you let Miss Humphries live with us?
She can bring the cat she's always talking about late at night. Shh, just shut up and get on the bike. Domestic abuse, nobody around. A dead hitchhiker and cops crawl out of the woodwork. Here, I pulled this out of his anus. This is unheard of for this small police force, so they'll have to pull men off the Duke Boys case. Roscoe P. Coltrane will understand.
Goodbye.
Did the boss just break up with us? They finally find those dead cyclists. Deputy Luke Johnson, played by Ronnie Cox, picked the wrong day to quit drinking. Even when cops get involved, Amos is still a fuckwad. The sheriff grew up with Bertha, so he's a bit protective of her.
Whiskey! Let's go to the club!
Amos is the least of his concerns.
If I see you again, you motherfuckers!
Officer down. I'm in charge now. Let's pick up where he left off.
Whiskey!
I wonder if Beverly Hills is hiring. And get me a bumpier map, damn it. Some new information in regards to the suspect.
She said there was no driver in the car.
In other words, there is no suspect. Get me an APB on Lightning McQueen.
No!
Well, I caught him and he's over the weight limit, so can I keep him? Yeah, sure. The cops have roadblocks and patrols to find this guy. We've hidden the car somewhere in this picture. Can you spot him? Lauren is in charge of school marching band practice. But when the wind kicks up, it ain't good. The car appears and takes out a few cowboys and chases everyone into a graveyard. Get in there, so when we die, they don't have to carry our mangled corpses too far. But the car won't enter. Probably even he thinks it's bad taste. But Lauren decides to taunt the car further.
Why don't you get out of your big ugly car, huh?
Fuck you!
You know, what if there's a guy in there who's just nuts and he also has a gun? Well, it was the 70s. Maybe they didn't think about stuff like that.
Let us all see what a lunatic son of a bitch you are!
Fuck you!
Well, now we have to exchange information. We have assholes in our neighborhood that do this at midnight. Just stop it. It says something when even an unstoppable demon car does not want to deal with the popo. You yelled at him until he left? Makes sense. What was that? Good job, honey. The car comes to a police checkpoint. He's hesitant to proceed even though he only had a couple of beers, officer, honest. So they chase the car all over the desert highways. But the chase gets even faster when they speed up the footage. So let's speed it up even more.
Hey, I see him. We got him. There's no way down, but straight down.
I'll show you now.
Jeez.
Hopefully he remembered to leave all that nitroglycerin back at the station. Nope, he brought it with him. And the car really knows how to rub it in.
Fuck you!
Okay, they have him now. But in a clip worthy of a YouTube dashcam compilation, he takes out 4 cops and 2 cars at once. This would have been supremely badass, except you see the car plainly lose a wheel, and then it's back. I know. Supernatural demon car, so all bets are off. Still noticeable though. That leaves Wade and his mustache. Before body cams, he takes the first shot.
Drop the gun, fat boy.
I'll show you now. Fuck you! Almost. Fuck, son.
But the car's completely bulletproof. Okay, sir, I'm just letting you off with a warning today. Just try not to kill anyone else, keep it below 60, and have a nice day. No door handle. It must be a Tesla. Starting to make sense.
Get in. Wanna go for a ride? Haha, fell for it.
Ah, the Matrix! For some reason, the car let him live.
I had to log up Emus Clemens this afternoon.
Shh, I'm on the phone! It's refreshing to see tragic events take an emotional toll on its characters. You don't always see that. Even Luke has an alcoholism subplot. Not a big subplot, but it adds to his character. Then he goes on to be police chief of Beverly Hills. Lauren goes home to pick up a few things, but that wind kicks up again.
As I was coming up to the house, that crazy wind came up.
Stay in the house. You'll be safe. The car can't enter unless you invite it. Isn't that vampires? Oh shit, you're right. Knocking down that wall really opens up the space and will add to the market value. The pieces are starting to add up. The car wouldn't enter the graveyard because
the ground was hallowed.
The solution is simple. Get an army of priests over here to consecrate everything, and I mean everything. That'll show them. But keep in mind, this is coming from the drunk. Wade remains skeptical of the supernatural angle.
Everybody else was killed on the street. Lauren was killed in the middle of her own living room. Because she cursed him, that's why.
Oh, did someone hurt his widow feelings? This small town has a massive police force, doesn't it?
Chaz, get Amos.
Tell him to bring his famous cookies. They have a plan. At least the wife beater comes in handy.
We need you.
I've been dreaming of this. So, one at a time or prison rules? No, they just want his dynamite. Wade goes home to prepare and peek in on the kids. He's almost ready, but Wade has a visitor. Did you see him?
Oh, you're back. I hope you don't mind. I stretched out for a bit, helped myself to some motor oil. So, we doing this? Don't ask how I locked it. Just kidding. Or am I? I will not be ignored, Wade. I can do this all night.
If you can't squish him, carbon monoxide can be just as deadly. Check your detectors often. Wade gets out and leads the car on a chase out of town. The car seemingly knows this is a trap and goes after the others. Hey, your mother's a Mazda La Puta! That's a real car, by the way. This gets his attention again, allowing the others to set up the trap, intending to bury the car in a box canyon. If only he had 4-wheel drive. Wade climbs while the car pounds the cliff like Thor's hammer. Come on, you gotta shake that tree if you want the nuts to fall out. But the car decides to just meet him up top. I love the old day for night cinematography, where the moon apparently casts shadows comparable to high noon. Wade's not done being bait and lures the car to the edge. I've always loved you, Luke. I need my space! They set off the explosives, resulting in a massive fireball and light show. Let's ignore what we all saw in the fire.
Didn't you see it in the fire?
He's down there under 100 tons of rock.
I'm a man of science, Luke. Now, see you in church Sunday. That was the car. This is Jaws with a car instead of a shark. This movie stuck with me as a kid. A lot of imagery was kind of frightening. It also borrows heavily from the far superior Duel with Dennis Weaver. As a lead, Wade is shown to be father and boyfriend, which makes him relatable. Still not the most memorable character. but it's this guy's movie, all the way. Is it being driven? Is it alive? Is it possessed?
You don't know!
At times supernatural, it appears out of nowhere. Did he teleport in here, or did he just sneak in when nobody was looking? Sometimes he can fly and defy physics, other times shackled to physical laws. And there's no actual purpose to the car's rampage, or at least not apparent. If it's a murder spree, it still seems to pick and choose victims at random. It toys with some victims and straight up plows into others. I'm fine with a little mystery, and his reasoning seems to be partially based on good old-fashioned road rage. Seriously, be careful who you flick off. The car started as a heavily modified Lincoln Continental designed by Hollywood car customizer George Barris. I'm sure you've seen his work, including this beauty. There were 4 cars built for stunts and 1 more for close-ups. The only surviving car is in a private collection. Only a few actual victims have any weight to their deaths, which sucked because I liked her character. The movie feels like it's 70s made for TV. There's no gore, violence is mostly implied or happens just off camera. There are some moments of tension, but they're betrayed by hilarious acting and laughable dialogue.
Now you listen to me, Copper. You move toward that door, she.
We know it was bad between you and Mother.
What kids talk like that? There are some cliches I'm amazed the movie manages to avoid. I would have expected Wade's kids to be put in some kind of direct danger. A lot of the car sequences are obviously sped up, but it kind of makes things look cartoony. The car is 3Bs. I still have a soft spot for this one. It's a classic, it's very cheesy. The car itself is a legend in design and it's just ultra cool. But the movie wrapped around it is just running on empty. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment the bell, you know, the usual YouTube stuff. This is theNewBee, and I'll see you later, kids. Toodles!